And we're back. Dynamic effort bench day today here in the basement. And once again, we're going to be focused less on absolute bar speed and more on greasing the groove and making sure that I'm pressing as well as I can. And it kind of comes back to that whole slow is smooth and smooth is fast thing. And that doesn't mean that I'm trying to press slow. It means that I'm trying to connect to the bar as well as I can. It means that I'm trying to flex into the bar as well as I can. And that connection, that quality flex, that quality contraction into the bar is what, excuse me, is what is then going to produce the bar speed. And if I'm connecting to the bar, if I'm flexing into it, if I'm contracting into it, and I'm in the exact groove that I want to be in, that is where I'm going to get carryover back towards my max effort day and back towards my competition bench. And the biggest mistake that I see lifters trying conjugate for the first time make is that they're focused more on pressing fast than they are on pressing good. And if you're pressing fast at the expense of pressing good, if you're just getting sloppy and wiffle balling that light bar around, even if you are working very hard and even if your speed intent is nailed, if you aren't pressing in a groove that is going to support your heavy work, if you aren't pressing in a groove that is going to support your competition bench, you're kind of wasting your time and you're kind of missing the point out of speed work, because by getting that technical practice, by connecting to the bar, that is exactly what is going to allow you to use speed work to create PRs on Max Rip Today and use speed work to create PRs on the platform. And again, I'm not saying that we need to press slow. I'm saying that we need to press as well as we can and then let pressing as well as we can create that bar speed. And as far as what I'm going to do today, because of how last week went, how last week felt, I don't think that I need to go up. I think I can just do the exact same thing again, because as far as the intent that I'm trying to create with this day, I don't think that I need to go heavier than 205. If it feels really insanely good, I might go heavier than 205, but the plan is to run that 10 by 3 there again, see where we get, and we'll kind of play it by ear as we go. So let's get warmed up and get into it. All right, work sets. Can definitely tell that all the wide raises are helping. And like the biggest thing that I got to remember doing these is pulling the bar out far enough, really using the bar to almost like crank into the arch harder, and just making sure that the lats are set well to complement what the low traps are doing. And like what I'm trying to do is almost imagine that I'm squeezing everything into a spot like right in between the bottom corners of my shoulder blades, and I'm trying to like load the bar into that spot. And right now, upper back is freaking worked, which is telling me I'm doing a good job of all that. Last set. All right. And dropping this sucker down, because we're going straight into that wide grip feet up work. And the goal here is just to see if we can push a little deeper into the sets than we did last week. Oh, that feels so terrible. One more. And last week I went like full Larson press on these. This week I'm going knee up. And what knee up does is you kind of see my rib cage drops a little as I pull my knees up. So it gives it a little bit more range of motion and makes it just that little bit harder on me, which was what I need to be doing. A little bit harder is a little bit better. And back to running more of these chaos push-ups again. Running them a little bit lower this week, which should be a little bit gnarlier, but again, trying to get better, so gotta do hard shit. Ow. Owie. Don't do that. This might be too low. I also might hit my face on that kettlebell, so we'll see. Head hit kettlebell. Okay, real deal. Go a little narrower. Oh, that's gnarly. I don't think I've ever ran these that low, and man, oh man, not easy. All right, round 2. Oh boy. And because I can tell the arms are a little bit fried from the heavy rolling extensions on Friday, I am gonna raise these suckers up, and instead of doing a real jam press, I'm gonna do a manual jam press on the band, which is basically the exact same thing as a JM, except instead of lowering the bar towards my upper chest, I'm gonna lower myself towards the band, still aim for that jam groove, still aim for the upper chest, and this will be a little bit easier in terms of pushing actual JM, but with how the triceps feel, this is pretty much exactly what I need today. Still working hard, just less relative loading. All right, round 2. And the focus here is really try to contract the lats, keep the scaps down as I lower myself, and then protract through hard at the top as I flex the shit out of the triceps. Ugh. And wow, this set's getting hard fast. Oh. Oh. And continuing the theme of not trying to absolutely murder my triceps, but still trying to work them hard, gonna run some overhead extensions on the prime handle, and really just trying to make sure I'm getting a big stretch at the bottom end, big contraction at the top end, and we're just gonna run reps till it gets hard. And with what I got on the stack for this set, might be a lot of reps, but there's worse problems that a guy could have. And like, do you guys remember that Kelly Starrett, like, broomstick shoulder ER lat stretch? In the bottom here, what I'm trying to do is like try to pull my elbows together as best I can. And it actually feels really freaking nice on the shoulder capsule in that stretch position. All right, went up a little bit. Hopefully, set's not done on rep 3. Another thing I'm trying to do here with the elbows, in addition to pulling them in at the bottom, is I'm trying to keep protraction and keep them reached forward as well as I can. And like doing it, you just get a really nasty stretch through lat, through teres, through a bunch of shit around the armpit, and it feels really nice. In addition to being very hard. That's what she said. And I haven't used my fancy dancy Elite FDS multi-grip handle, so that's a good enough excuse to use the fancy dancy Elite FDS multi-grip handle if I can get it on the hook. And short on time here, so we're gonna run a bit of a mechanical drop at moderate weight. Gonna go till it gets kind of hard out wide. And then once it gets kind of hard out wide, we're just gonna bring the grip in and go till it gets kind of hard. And we shall repeat until it gets pretty hard. I should have put more weight on the stack. Oh well, we're in it. Probably just gonna cut till the next handle. Actually, that's okay. Okay. That qualifies as kind of hard and should set me up well to not die too early with the narrower handles. And like, if you ever want to get an idea of how different grips work different parts of your back, this is a really good way to do it, because you're going to get live feedback on what parts of your back feel like they're getting worked. I'm going to die. And like, for myself, it's like I just get closer and closer to the spine as I bring the grip in. Oh. Oh. Yeah, that is a fun freaking protocol. And continuing the theme of time efficiency, just gonna go right, left, or left, right, because this is my left arm, not my right arm, but I had to go back and forth for just sets straight through on the concentrations. Oh, big squeeze. Oh. Oh. Ah. Round 2. Trying to make myself enjoy the bicep training, because it's like part of not pushing is also, I don't know, it's hard to enjoy it because it's just like, it's not the same as pushing on like a tricep extension for me. And like, I think a lot of that is I'm just better at tricep work, and I'm probably just better at tricep work because I've done more tricep work through my entire career. So the theory that I'm working with, or at least what I'm trying to tell myself, is that if I do more curls, I will get better at doing curls on hammers now. And if I get better at doing curls, maybe they'll start being more fun. Oh, wow, that's hard fast. And the sketchy dumbbell's getting very loose. Hopefully she lasts till the end of this. Oh. Oh. Man, oh man. Oh boy. That's not super productive. We're dropping. Yeah. Now this is just way too light, but actually it's catching up fast. Hooey. Squeeze and control. Don't waste that barocentric. Have the arms growing? I don't know. Maybe. I really should like measure them or something, but then I'd have to be the guy that measures his arms, which I'm not sure if I'm ready for that if I'm not measuring them to put on a bench shirt. And hips are feeling that little bit chonky. I got to figure out where the fuck to put myself in this thing, but we're going to run some of the kettlebell hip flexor raises just to de-chonk them. And it's like the hip flexor training, we're basically encouraging the femoral acetabular slide, glide, and roll that we need arthrokinematically to hit depth on a squat and to get in the bottom of a deadlift. So if you do have some gross anterior hips, hip flexor training is not only going to make the structures on the front side of your hips stronger so they're more tolerant, but it's going to improve how that joint actually moves. And they're just freaking fun to dig into and crank on because they are so disgustingly hard. And like, you'll see me at TSE doing these with a cable, but if you don't have a cable, hooking the foot on a kettlebell is a very good option. Woo! All right, last set. And like, this is a pretty heavy kettlebell for me on these, but all I've got lower than the 44 is a 25. I kind of wish I had a 35 for this, but I'd rather go a little heavier than have to spend 7 hours here doing reps with the 25. And another key point that I'm kind of thinking about is I'm kind of almost like trying to shove my pelvis forward, oopsie daisies, so that even though my foot and leg are in front of me because of the rack post that I'm standing on, I'm still getting kind of close to full hip extension in the bottom. Oh, yeah, that got hard fast. And that's that. Got down here late again, so it was a quick one, but a good one. And part of my problem with Tuesdays is that because I know I'm training at home, like I'm in a habit of taking on too much work and committing to too much, which bleeds into the time that I should be training, which is like a good thing from the life productivity side of things, but it's can be a negative in terms of training because I do kind of have to hustle through this session. And like, if there is a session that I can hustle through, it is this one. But like today, by the time I got done work, it was one of those where I did not feel like training, and I really did not feel like getting the camera out and filming it. But like, whenever I feel like that, I just try to tell myself that I always, or almost always, have fun training, and I almost always have fun filming and sharing ideas and presenting ideas and talking about training. And it's like the whole process of talking about the training and sharing the ideas almost makes the training more fun, and then the training being more fun makes the filming more fun, and it kind of just compounds. And it's like, the point I'm trying to make with this is that it's okay to have days where you don't feel like getting started, but if you can just rip that band-aid off and get started and get moving and start warming up and start just feeling the gym and feeling the environment and trying to bring yourself up as you get warmed up, you can almost always turn them into really good sessions. And at bare minimum, you can turn them into productive sessions. And it kind of comes back to the whole, like, if all you're looking at is Instagram, all you're seeing is the highlight reel where it looks like everyone's hitting PRs and everyone's having fun and everyone's just kicking ass and feeling amazing. But that is not reality. And you will have days that aren't the best and don't feel amazing and might not even be fun. And like, that's not the end of the world. And what you got to do is just do your best to remember why you're doing it and remember the process and remember what you're trying to get out of it. And if you can do that, you can make it at least a little bit fun. So that's what I got, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you so much for watching.